Before humans conquered the highest summits on the planet, before science understood life on the roof of the world, there already existed a kingdom where every breath was a test of survival. In the wilds of Nepal, between eternal snow, deep abysses and relentless winds, mountain creatures endure cold, hunger and altitude to stay alive. Welcome to wild Nepal, the savage kingdom at the highest peak in the world. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below on what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from so we can chat together. May God bless everyone with health, peace and love for nature. Let's begin. In the most remote mountains of the Himalayas, where cliffs seem to touch the clouds and winter dominates most of the year, lives one of the most legendary predators on the planet. It is the snow leopard, known scientifically as Panthera uncia, the undisputed sovereign of the frozen heights. Its thick greyish fur makes it almost invisible among rocks, snow, and the shadows of alpine ravines. With a tail that can reach nearly the length of its body, it maintains balance on ledges where a single false step could be fatal. But this winter, survival does not depend on it alone. A female must feed and protect two cubs that still depend completely on her experience to survive. Each day that passes without food reduces the chances of the young ones overcoming the harshest season of the year. Among the most important prey are bharals and mountain goats that roam the steep slopes of the Himalayas. The female detects a group of bharals feeding on a rock wall hundreds of meters above the valley. She begins to move slowly along a narrow route, using every rock and every shadow to hide her presence. With every step, the risk increases because a fall in this terrain could end both the hunt and the life of the predator. When she reaches the proper distance, she springs between the rocks with extraordinary precision and launches the attack. The hunt is decided on the edge of the abyss, where balance, experience and precision are as important as strength. The food obtained will allow the cubs to regain energy and continue learning the skills necessary for life in the mountains. On the peaks of the Himalayas, the snow leopard proves that being the king of the mountains does not mean living without danger, but surviving every day where any mistake could be the last. In the jungles and floodplains of the Terai, at the foot of the Himalayas, lives one of the most powerful predators on the Asian continent. It is the Bengal tiger, known scientifically as Panthera tigris, the true sovereign of these tropical forests. An adult male can exceed 220 kilograms in weight and control a territory covering dozens of square kilometers. To maintain that dominance, it must constantly patrol the boundaries of its territory and watch for any sign of intrusion. Scent marks, scratches on trees, and fresh tracks are part of a complex communication system between tigers. Every protected border guarantees access to water, shelter, and enough prey to survive throughout the year. But valuable territories inevitably attract other males seeking to establish their own dominance. For this tiger, defending the territory also means protecting the future of the generations that might be born under its control. Axis deer, wild boars, and other large herbivores constitute the main basis of its diet. The tiger detects a wild boar feeding near an area of dense vegetation and begins to approach using the forest cover. It advances silently through tall grass, trees and shadows, reducing the distance without alerting the prey. When it reaches the proper position, it releases all the power of its muscles in a precise and explosive ambush. The hunt is decided the moment the tiger's strength overcomes the prey's reaction capacity. However, the life of a dominant male does not consist solely of hunting, but also of maintaining its position against potential rivals. In the forests of the Terai, the Bengal tiger represents power, territory, and continuity, because the outcome of each conflict can influence the future of an entire generation of tigers. On the steepest slopes of the Himalayas, where air is thin and the cold is eternal, dwells a master of visual deception. The Bharal or blue sheep, known scientifically as Sudois Nayar, is the most emblematic inhabitant of the extreme heights. Its presence dominates the Tibetan plateaus and the peaks of Nepal, moving with ease at 5,000 meters of altitude. Its slate-grey fur with bluish reflections allows it to blend completely with the rocks and shale of the mountain. This robustly built animal reaches a weight of 75 kilograms in adult males, optimized for life on slopes. They possess curved and powerful horns used for both defense and ritual battles during the mating season. Their eyes with horizontal pupils catch the slightest movement on the cliffs, alerting the group to the presence of predators. Its main survival tactic is absolute immobility, trusting that its camouflage will make it invisible to any threat. When detection is inevitable, the parrel leaps between precipices with an agility that defies the laws of gravity. However, in the theatre of death of the Himalayas, this herbivore is the primary target of the ghost of the snows. The snow leopard depends on the parrel for more than 60% of its annual meat diet. As a keystone species, the abundance of the parrel dictates the health and survival of Asia's most majestic predators. They feed on lichens and alpine grasses, transforming scarce vegetation into pure energy to withstand winds of 100 kilometers per hour. They live in cohesive herds, where shared vigilance is the only guarantee of not perishing under the claws of a hunter. The parrel is the vital link that sustains the biological balance of the summits, a silent warrior of the eternal rocks. In the vast plateaus of the Himalayas, where the freezing wind blows relentlessly and temperatures remain extreme for much of the year, a pack of wolves struggles to survive. For several weeks, the hunts have ended in failure and energy reserves are beginning to reach dangerously low levels. Every member of the pack feels the pressure of hunger as they travel kilometers of rocky terrain in search of an opportunity. Himalayan wolves survive thanks to cooperation, an essential strategy in an environment where food is scarce. Among them, the mountain goat stands out, a resilient animal capable of moving through slopes that seem impossible. The pack detects a mountain goat feeding near a series of cliffs and begins to organize the pursuit. Several wolves move along the flanks while others advance along elevated routes to limit escape options. Coordination allows the group to use the terrain to their advantage, instead of relying solely on speed. The wolves detect the right moment and begin to close the distance from different directions. They force the mountain goat to move through increasingly difficult areas while slowly exhausting its endurance. When the prey loses its advantage on the ground, the pack launches a coordinated attack, taking advantage of every second of opportunity. The hunt is decided thanks to collective work, proving that unity can overcome even the most resilient prey of the mountains. But at these heights, there exists another legendary hunter watching silently from the cliffs. The snow leopard shares part of the same territory and can appear at any moment to dispute such a valuable resource. In the Himalayas, survival depends not only on capturing food, but also on keeping it against rivals capable of challenging even an entire pack. On the forbidden summits of the Himalayas, where air is thin and the wind howls between granite ridges, a glacial and majestic silence reigns. Here lives the golden eagle, a colossus of the sky with a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters of pure aerodynamic power. In a colossal nest built on a precipice with a 1,000-meter drop, a pair protects its only chick from the extreme cold. To feed their offspring in this hostile environment, these predators must carry out dozens of hunting raids every week. From a height of 3,000 meters, their eyes, 8 times more powerful than those of a human, detect the slightest movement in the valley. A Himalayan fox moves among the rocks, unsuspecting that it has been marked by the winged executioner from the vast blue sky. The eagle folds its wings and launches into a dizzying dive, reaching speeds exceeding 240 kilometers per hour. Its talons, with a pressure of 400 kilograms per square inch, are biological projectiles designed for an immediate lethal impact. The impact is dull and violent, a collision of pure kinetic energy that neutralizes the prey's resistance in a single instant. With its secured 4-kilogram prize, the hunter must fight against thermal currents to soar again toward its stone fortress. Back on the ledge, the success of the hunt guarantees another day of life for the next generation of monarchs of the wind. Every flight is a challenge to gravity and death, a precarious balance between voracious hunger and aerial glory. Survival in the clouds does not forgive the slightest fatigue, demanding a physical perfection honed over millennia of evolution. The golden eagle is the symbol of indomitable will, a warrior that turns the void of the abyss into its absolute domain. In the vastness of the Himalayas, life only endures for those who are capable of seeing the invisible and attacking with the force of a lightning bolt. On the steepest rock walls of the mountain range lives the Himalayan tahr, known scientifically as Hemitragus gemlahicus, a master of vertical survival. Its hooves possess a unique evolutionary design with a hard outer edge and a soft center that acts like a suction cup on almost vertical surfaces. This adaptation allows it to climb cliffs where a single mistake means a fatal fall of hundreds of meters into the abyss. When the snow leopard begins its attack, the tahr uses its agility to perform prodigious leaps between minimal stone ledges. Its thick and woolly fur protects it from freezing winds at altitudes exceeding 4,000 meters above sea level. In a desperate escape, it can reach surprising speeds on terrain where any other animal would be completely paralyzed. The Himalayan tahr is an acrobat of death, a warrior that defies gravity to escape the claws of Asia's most feared predator. In the temperate forests of Nepal, between moss and clouds, lives a creature whose beauty seems taken from an oriental legend. The red panda, scientifically named Ailurus fulgens, is the hidden treasure of the mountains, a unique being that is not directly related to the giant panda. This small acrobat is a living fossil, the last representative of its biological family, the Ailuridae, which has survived for millions of years. Its territory extends across the slopes of the Himalayas, preferring cool altitudes between 2,200 and 4,800 meters above sea level. The vibrant crimson color of its fur is not accidental. It allows it to blend perfectly with the reddish lichens covering the trees. Its 50-centimeter ringed tail provides masterly balance as it moves through the thinnest and highest branches. During freezing nights, it uses this same tail as a natural blanket to conserve body heat in sub-zero temperatures. Weighing barely 6 kilograms, its body is light and extremely flexible, designed exclusively for an arboreal life. It possesses very sharp retractable claws and a sesamoid bone in the wrist that functions like a false thumb to grip stems. Bamboo constitutes 95% of its diet, consuming large quantities of tender leaves to obtain the necessary energy. The red panda is a crepuscular being, reserving its greatest activity for dawn and dusk, far from the eyes of predators. It spends most of its existence in the treetops, descending to the ground only when strictly necessary to move. Its main defense against danger is its ability to climb at a surprising speed toward the most inaccessible areas of the forest. Despite its cute appearance, it can be aggressive if cornered, standing on its hind legs to intimidate. The red panda is a solitary animal that marks its territory with scent glands located on its paw pads. Its communication is based on subtle whistles and short sounds that resonate softly among the dense vegetation of Nepal. Unfortunately, this treasure of the heights faces a devastating threat that puts its immediate future at risk. Deforestation and human expansion have fragmented the bamboo forests, leaving fewer than 10,000 individuals in the wild. Every square kilometer of lost habitat is a death sentence for this unique, delicate, and extremely vulnerable species. Climate change also alters the growth of bamboo, the only source of life that sustains its fragile existence in the clouds. As an umbrella species, the protection of the red panda guarantees the survival of the entire ecosystem of Nepalese mountain forests. It is a biological indicator of environmental health, a silent sentinel warning us about the state of our planet. To see a red panda in the wild is to witness one of the rarest and most precious jewels of biological evolution in Asia. Safeguarding its future is a moral imperative to prevent this crimson flash from fading forever into the shadows of the Himalayas. In the cold forests that cover the lower slopes of the Himalayas, there exists a predator so discreet that it can remain nearby for days without being seen by any other animal. It is the Eurasian lynx, known scientifically as lynx, one of the most mysterious hunters of Eurasia. Unlike the Bengal tiger or the snow leopard, it rarely dominates by size or absolute strength. Its true advantage lies in an extraordinary ability to disappear among trees, shadows, and uneven terrain. Its spotted fur, breaks the silhouette of its body and turns it into an almost invisible figure within the forest. Its wide paws allow it to move silently over snow, dry leaves, and damp ground, without generating almost any noise. For several days, this hunter follows the movements of the prey that inhabit the clearings and trails of the forest. Every path, every resting point, and every feeding route are memorized with extraordinary patience. Roe deer, hares, and small mammals constitute the most common prey for this solitary predator. The lynx detects a roe deer feeding near a forested area and begins to approach using the natural cover. It advances slowly between trunks and bushes, using every shadow to hide its presence while reducing the distance. When it reaches the proper position, it emerges from the forest with a sudden burst of speed directed at a single target. The hunt is decided the instant the lynx transforms days of patience into a single, perfectly executed opportunity. Thanks to its discreet lifestyle, it can share regions with other large predators, avoiding most direct conflicts. In the cold forests of the Himalayas, the Eurasian lynx proves that invisibility can be one of the most powerful weapons in all of nature. On the frozen peaks, where the wind cuts like a knife, time is running out for the most massive predator of the heights. The Himalayan brown bear, Ursus arctos isabelinus, is a rare and majestic subspecies that reigns on the roof of the world. Its thick, sand-toned fur protects it from the elements while it patrols territories that reach 5,000 meters in altitude. An adult male can weigh up to 400 kilograms, being a fortress of muscle designed for extreme endurance. With autumn coming to an end, the sunlight weakens and a biological urgency awakens in the veins of this giant. The hyperphagia phase begins, a period of frenzied feeding where the bear must consume everything it finds in its path. In just a few weeks, it needs to increase its body weight by 80 kilograms to create a vital insulating layer of fat. It is a race against the clock. Every gram accumulated represents an extra hour of life during the long winter sleep. Its 10-centimeter claws are powerful tools for digging into the frozen earth in search of roots, bulbs, and marmots. The bear patrols kilometers of steep slopes, tracking any source of protein before the ground is buried by snow. Temperatures drop rapidly below 15 degrees Celsius below zero, hardening the landscape and making the search difficult. If it fails to reach the necessary weight, its metabolism will fail and it will not have enough energy to survive until spring. Finally, when the first snowstorm covers the peaks, the giant retreats to its den dug deep into the rock. For months, its heart rate will decrease drastically, depending exclusively on the fat reserves accumulated with so much effort. The Himalayan brown bear is the guardian of winter, a supreme survivor defying hunger and absolute ice. In the arid valleys of Tibet, under the perpetual shadow of snow-capped peaks, the freezing wind sweeps across a high-altitude desert of rock and snow. A 400-kilogram yak lies lifeless in the center of the plain, immediately becoming a beacon of survival for the entire ecosystem. From the stratosphere descends the ultimate cleaner of the Himalayas, the Himalayan vulture, a titan watching from the very edge of space. With a wingspan exceeding 3 meters and a weight of up to 12 kilograms, it is one of the largest flying birds on the planet. At temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius below zero, the frozen body of the yak is an armored chest of nutrients that few can open naturally. Tibetan foxes and ravens arrive first, but the real race for food begins when the first giant silhouettes cut through the wind. From a distance of 30 kilometers, thanks to vision 8 times superior to a human's, the vulture detects the carcass without needing a sense of smell. Its head and neck, devoid of long feathers, are perfect adaptations for penetrating remains without accumulating dangerous bacteria. Gliding without hardly flapping its giant wings, it saves every gram of energy in an environment where oxygen is an extremely scarce resource. In a few minutes, dozens of vultures drop into the valley like a storm of feathers, forming a living wall around the yak. Clash is inevitable as the vultures push and hiss violently, claiming their hierarchical right to the richest portion of meat. Their hooked and sharp beaks tear through the frozen skin with immense force, opening the path for smaller scavengers waiting around. In less than an hour, the hill is cleared, and only white bones testify to the relentless cycle of life in the heights. The Himalayan vulture fulfills its role without spilling a single drop of living blood, transforming death into the sustenance of the mountain range. On the roof of the world, life endures, thanks to these guardians who clean the earth so that nature can begin anew. In the ice desert of Tibet, where the sky meets the earth, a colossal figure emerges, wrapped in mist. The wild yak, Bos mutus, is the most resilient and massive inhabitant of the highest plateaus in the world. An alpha male can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms, a mass of muscle and fur that defies all laws of nature. Its lungs are 3 times larger than those of a common bull, allowing it to extract oxygen from the thin air at 6,000 meters of altitude. It possesses a double-layer coat so dense that snow does not melt on its back, keeping internal heat intact. Suddenly, the horizon darkens and the fiercest snowstorm of the year begins in the Himalayan range. Winds of 120 kilometers per hour strike the herd, reducing visibility to less than a meter in a few seconds. The temperature drops rapidly to 40 degrees Celsius below freezing, turning every breath into instant ice crystals. Under a 2-meter blanket of snow, finding food becomes an almost impossible mission for the hungry group. The yak uses its large hooves as biological shovels to dig through the hard snow in search of frozen grasses and lichens. The herd clusters in a closed circle, placing the young in the center to protect them from the freezing and deadly wind. It is a war of attrition, where only the individuals with the greatest fat reserves and iron will manage to survive. Its massive 1-meter-long horns serve not only for combat, but also for breaking the ice in frozen streams. The wild yak is the cornerstone of life in Tibet, maintaining the balance of alpine meadows with its grazing. At dawn, the herd continues moving forward, proving that on the roof of the world, endurance is the only absolute law. Among the scattered rocks of the alpine meadows of the Himalayas lives a sentinel, small but vital to the ecosystem. The Himalayan marmot, scientifically known as Marmota himalayana, is one of the mammals living at the highest altitude in the world. Its presence is common on the Tibetan Plateau and the high-altitude valleys of Nepal, reaching territories above 5,000 meters. This robustly built rodent possesses a dense yellowish fur that allows it to withstand the freezing mountain wind. An adult specimen can reach a length of 60 centimeters and a weight of up to 9 kilograms before hibernation. Its legs are equipped with powerful claws designed to dig deep tunnel systems into the frozen ground. These underground labyrinths can descend up to 10 meters deep, providing a safe refuge against extreme weather. For much of the year, the marmot remains in a state of deep sleep, reducing its heart rate to conserve energy. Upon emerging from their burrows, these animals adopt an upright posture on their hind legs to watch the horizon. Their vision and hearing are tuned to detect the flight of an eagle or the silent approach of a wolf. At the slightest threat, the marmot launches a sharp and piercing whistle that resonates across the meadow like an alarm siren. This warning cry allows the entire colony to disappear underground in a fraction of a second, escaping certain death. Despite its precautions, the marmot is a crucial food source for the snow leopard and the Tibetan fox. Its role in the food chain is fundamental to sustaining the larger predators of the Himalayan region. Additionally, its digging activity aerates the soil and allows water to penetrate, favoring the growth of alpine meadows. It is a creature of extraordinary resilience, capable of thriving where few living beings can find sustenance. The marmot is the pulse of the mountain, an untiring watcher ensuring the vitality of wildlife on the roof of the world. Its whistle is the sound of survival, a melody that defines the interconnectedness of life at extreme altitudes. Protecting these small sentinels is preserving the balance of an ecosystem as majestic as it is fragile. On the coldest and most wind-punished slopes of the Himalayan range lives a tiny titan that defies the laws of survival. The Himalayan pika, known scientifically as Ochotona himalayana, is a close relative of rabbits that has conquered altitudes above 5,000 meters. With a size barely reaching 20 centimeters and a weight of 200 grams, this small mammal is a prodigy of biological adaptation. Its round and compact body is covered by extremely dense fur that isolates it from temperatures dropping to 30 degrees Celsius below zero. Unlike the marmot, the pika does not hibernate, forcing it to face the cruelest winter on Earth with an active and laborious strategy. During the brief alpine summer, the pika transforms into a tireless high-altitude farmer, collecting plants, flowers and grasses. It possesses a unique technique. It places vegetation on hot rocks so the sun dries it, creating true piles of dry hay. This drying process is vital to prevent food from rotting under the snow and to preserve its nutritional properties for months. A single pika can make hundreds of trips a day, carrying loads of vegetation that often exceed its own weight. It stores these reserves in underground pantries hidden among rock crevices, protected from the wind and opportunistic thieves. Its metabolism is incredibly high, maintaining an internal body temperature of 40 degrees Celsius to generate the necessary heat. This high metabolic rate requires a constant consumption of energy, making its hay piles its only life insurance. When snow covers the landscape with a 1-meter thick blanket, the pika retreats to the subnivean world, a space between the ground and the snow. In this frozen refuge, the pika moves through narrow tunnels, feeding on its reserves while the outside is punished by storms. Its short, rounded ears are an adaptation to minimize heat loss, unlike its lowland rabbit relatives. Despite its small size, the pika is extremely territorial and will defend its hay piles with sharp squeaks and rapid chases. It is an essential link in the Himalayan food chain, serving as sustenance for predators like the ermine and the Tibetan fox. Furthermore, its gathering activities and organic waste enrich the poor soil of the high mountains, allowing flora to thrive. The pika is the symbol of diligence and resilience, a silent warrior surviving where giants die of cold and hunger. Its existence proves that strategic intelligence and preparation are weapons as powerful as brute force in nature. Preserving this small hay architect is fundamental to maintaining the biological health of Asia's most extreme ecosystems. Leaving behind the ice peaks, we descend to the alluvial plains of the Terai, where a prehistoric ironclad reigns. The one-horned rhinoceros, scientifically named Rhinoceros unicornis, is the living symbol of Nepal's most impressive conservation success. This terrestrial titan can reach a weight of 2,200 kilograms, making it one of the heaviest and most powerful mammals on the planet. Its greyish skin is arranged in massive folds that look like armor plates, protecting it from attacks and dense vegetation. It possesses a single keratin horn that can measure up to 60 centimeters long, a lethal defense tool and a symbol of status. It inhabits the subtropical jungles and swamps of the south, where it feeds on tall grasses that exceed 4 meters in height. Despite its heavy appearance, it is an excellent swimmer that crosses rushing rivers with an agility that defies its large body volume. Thanks to strict protection in Chitwan National Park, Nepal has managed to rescue this species from the brink of extinction. When provoked, this giant initiates an unstoppable charge, reaching a speed of 40 kilometers per hour, destroying everything in its path. The rhinoceros is the architect of the swamps, a keystone species whose grazing maintains the balance of the Terai's floodplains. In the dense cloud forests of Nepal, amid persistent fog, emerges the Asian black bear, the guardian of the middle slopes. Known scientifically as Ursus thibetanus, it stands out for the distinctive crescent-shaped white patch on its chest. An adult male can weigh up to 200 kilograms, possessing powerful musculature ideal for vertical climbing. With the arrival of autumn, the bear enters a state of biological urgency, consuming food almost without interruption. It's an absolute master of forest heights, capable of climbing 30-meter trees to reach the sweetest fruits. Its short, curved claws act like steel hooks, allowing it to move with surprising agility among the branches. The black bear exploits every resource, from fat-rich acorns to wild berries that stain its dark fur. Its sense of smell is extraordinary, detecting the scent of a honeycomb from more than 2 kilometers away. It does not fear stings. It destroys bee nests high in the canopy to obtain the concentrated energy of honey and larvae. During this preparation period, a single individual can consume up to 20,000 calories per day to build up vital reserves. As a forest architect, by dispersing seeds and opening clearings in the canopy, it guarantees the renewal of mountain flora. Only those who manage to transform autumn's abundance into body fat will survive the long and freezing sleep of the Nepalese winter. Nepal is a unique vertical kingdom on Earth, where geography defies the limits of human imagination. In a distance of barely 200 kilometers from south to north, the terrain rises from sea level to brush against space. This astonishing climatic gradation creates a mosaic of life that has no equal in any other region of the planet. In the southern lowlands, the Terai Belt pulses with a hot and humid subtropical climate. Here, temperatures can easily exceed 40 degrees Celsius under a thick sun that feeds impenetrable jungles. It is the domain of sal trees and swamps that serve as refuge for Bengal tigers and Asian elephants. As one ascends toward the middle hills, the air becomes cooler and the atmosphere fills with a mystical mist. Between 2,000 and 3,000 meters of altitude, cloud forests wrap the slopes in an eternal blanket of moisture. It is a world of transition where oak and rhododendron dominate the landscape, bursting into colors during spring. Higher up, trees begin to give way to high-altitude alpine meadows and resilient shrubs. At 4,000 meters, the climate becomes freezing and available oxygen is drastically reduced for any living being. Winds can reach speeds of 80 kilometers per hour, sweeping across the grasslands inhabited by the yak and the bharal. Reaching the death zone above 8,000 meters, the landscape transforms into an ice desert. Mount Everest, known locally as Sagarmatha, stands as the supreme guardian of the eternal snows. On these summits, the cold drops to 60 degrees Celsius below zero, and atmospheric pressure is extremely low. Glacial ice and bare rock are the only owners of this kingdom, where biological life reaches its final limit. The monsoon is the vital engine that drives this whole system, bringing torrential rains from the Indian Ocean. Every drop of water travels from tropical jungles to the glaciers that feed the great rivers of Asia. Nepal concentrates almost all the planet's biomes within its territory, functioning as a natural laboratory of evolution. This climatic diversity is what guarantees the survival of the rarest and most powerful creatures on the roof of the world. The future of the sacred summits and deep jungles of Nepal faces its most critical challenge in modern history today. Climate change is accelerating the melting of Himalayan glaciers at an alarming rate of nearly 1 meter of thickness per year. The global temperature increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius threatens to transform eternal ice peaks into bare and sterile rock. This phenomenon, known as the Third Pole Crisis, puts the water supply for millions of people across the continent at risk. The snow leopard, sovereign of the heights, sees its habitat fragment as the tree line ascends due to the heat. It is estimated that fewer than 500 individuals of this feline remain in Nepal, struggling against prey scarcity and territory loss. In the lowlands, the Bengal tiger faces constant pressure from human expansion and the degradation of biological corridors. Population growth near Chitwan and Bardia national parks increases dangerous encounters between humans and predators. Despite these threats, Nepal has emerged as a global leader in conservation, managing to double its tiger population in the last decade. Community patrolling and the use of advanced technology to combat poaching have been fundamental in protecting the one-horned rhinoceros. However, the health of the entire ecosystem depends on the fragile balance between economic development and the preservation of natural heritage. Every square kilometre of protected forest acts as a vital lung that absorbs carbon and regulates the region's climate. The disappearance of keystone species would cause a domino effect that would destabilize the unique biodiversity of this vertical kingdom. Nepal is the guardian of natural wisdom that has endured for millennia, a haven of peace for Asia's most spectacular wildlife. The struggle to conserve the Himalayas is a battle for the future of our planet, where every glacier and every tiger counts. The roar of the tiger and the whistle of the wind on Everest are reminders that we are responsible for keeping this majesty intact. We must act with determination before the shadows of extinction permanently cover the eternal snows of Sagarmatha. Nepal continues to be a beacon of hope for conservation, proving that man and nature can coexist in harmony. Preserving the roof of the world is ensuring that the symphony of wildlife continues to resonate in the heart of Asia forever. In this kingdom of giants and clouds, human will is the only force capable of saving the untamed beauty of wild Nepal. Subscribe to the channel and share this video to carry this message of respect far and wide. Every gesture helps protect nature's wonderful creation. Before humans fully understood the power of the wild winter, before science could explain how life survives beneath ice and snow, there already existed a world where the cold tested every living creature. Among snow-covered pine forests, hot springs, and frozen valleys of Yellowstone, animals must struggle against hunger, freezing cold, predators, and the harshest secrets of survival. Welcome to Extreme Yellowstone, Survival Secrets in the Coldest Winter. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to motivate us to keep creating more quality content. Don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts about the video and tell us where you are watching from so we can discuss it together. Let's begin. When winter blankets the Yellowstone Plateau, it transforms this wilderness into one of the continent's most challenging environments. Snow accumulates meters deep in the valleys and slopes, while temperatures frequently drop far below freezing. The Lamar Valley, often called the Serengeti of the United States, becomes the stage for nature's most dramatic survival stories. For the grey wolf, reintroduced to Yellowstone in the mid-1990s, winter is a time of opportunity. Their thick double coats and efficient pack hunting tactics help them adapt perfectly to these extreme conditions. A wolf pack moves as a unified organism across the landscape, communicating through subtle body language as they track their prey through the snow. Their powerful sense of smell can detect animals buried under deep snow or catch the scent of an elk herd miles away. The confrontation between wolf and elk dates back to the dawn of time, a deadly ballet where each side knows its role well. The elk, despite its colossal size and dangerous antlers, finds itself at a disadvantage in deep snow. Their long legs pierce the snow crust, forcing them to expend valuable energy with every heavy step. Wolves, with lighter bodies and wider paws, can often travel across the surface with relative ease. They test the prey herd, searching for signs of weakness. They identify an animal that lags behind, walks with a slight limp, or shows hesitation. The decision to attack is not made lightly. Every encounter carries the risk of injury from sharp hooves or antlers. A broken jaw or an injured leg can mean death for a predator that must hunt to live. Once decided, the pack coordinates with astonishing precision. Some wolves create distractions while others approach from behind. The chase can last for minutes or miles, and every animal must put its endurance to the ultimate test. The geothermal heart of Yellowstone provides a special refuge in this frozen world. Across the park's 2.2 million acres, more than 4,000 thermal features create microclimates where snow melts to reveal patches of grass. These oases become meeting points for Yellowstone's most iconic resident, the American bison, weighing up to 900 kilograms. These living monuments of prehistoric North America developed extraordinary adaptations to survive the winter. Their gigantic heads function as snowplows, pushing snow aside to reveal vegetation. Their thick skin and dense undercoat, with fibers 10 times thicker than human hair, insulate them from the most intense cold. Bison reduce their metabolism during the winter, conserving energy by moving less and digesting food more slowly. The landscape of Yellowstone in winter is defined by its extremes. The volcanic caldera that forms the park's central plateau is one of the largest on Earth, a sleeping giant whose thermal breath creates a mosaic of microclimates. In some areas, just centimeters away from the snowpack, the ground remains warm enough to sustain plant life. The warm soil provides a crucial habitat for small mammals. The red fox has perfected a remarkable hunting technique to survive the winter. With ears capable of detecting the slightest rustle under meters of snow, the fox locates mice and voles moving through subnivean tunnels. In a behavior known as mousing, the fox leaps high and dives headfirst into the snow. The fox often emerges with prey in its jaws. These small predators must consume an amount of food equivalent to their own body weight every 2 days to maintain their energy throughout the winter. Not all of Yellowstone's residents choose to face the winter challenge. Nearly 150 bird species depart for warmer climates, while others, like the grizzly bear, opt for hibernation. By late October, most grizzlies have retreated to their dens after spending the previous months in a feeding frenzy called hyperphagia. They consume up to 20,000 calories daily to build up fat reserves for their long sleep. A female bear will give birth during hibernation, usually to twins, the cubs, weighing less than half a kilogram at birth. Nurse and grow in the safety of the den while winter rages outside. By the time spring arrives, they will weigh about 7 kilograms and face the outside world alongside their protective mother. For the Yellowstone elk, winter is a brutal equation of energy conservation. These magnificent ungulates, with a population of over 10,000 in the ecosystem, must find enough food to survive while spending as little energy as possible. Many migrate to lower elevations outside the park, following ancestral routes used by their predecessors for millennia. Those that remain face a daily struggle to find food and avoid predators. The sound of elk hooves scraping at the snow becomes the winter soundtrack of the valleys. they dig holes that look like craters, revealing the sparse vegetation hidden beneath. Their specialized digestive system allows them to process even the lowest quality forage. Elk extract maximum nutrients from frozen grasses and shrubs that would provide very little sustenance to other species. As winter grows more severe, the park falls into a state of stagnation. The snow muffles sound, creating a quietude interrupted only occasionally by the cracking of trees or the distant howl of a wolf pack. Temperatures can vary drastically, from piercing cold under clear skies to relative warmth during snowstorms when clouds act as thermal insulation. Night brings its own magic to a Yellowstone winter with minimal light pollution. The stars shine with unusual clarity, and occasionally auroras dance in the sky in green curtains. The cold air transmits sound with amazing efficiency. It reaches the point where the hoot of a great horned owl can be heard from miles away. For the creatures of Yellowstone, winter is not something to conquer, but something to endure through adaptation. Each species carries with it the wisdom of countless generations etched into its body and behavior. These are lessons learned through relentless natural selection. This knowledge is manifest in the bison's giant head, developed to clear snow, and in the fox's precise strike. As the calendar advances, winter seems endless and food becomes scarce. The weak begin to succumb, and their bodies fuel the nutrient recycling cycle that makes this ecosystem function. After the long silence, the first sounds of spring emerge timidly with the dripping of icicles. The gentle murmur of streams under the ice is heard, along with the distant call of Canada geese. Welcome to Yellowstone in spring, the season of rapid rebirth. Here, life accelerates from the lethargic rhythm of winter to the hurried pulse of reproduction. The transition showcases nature's extraordinary resilience and the complex synchronization evolved over millennia. For the grizzly bear, the start of spring marks the end of a 5-month dormancy. The mother now faces the challenge of finding sufficient nutrition and protecting her vulnerable cubs. She has lost up to 30% of her body weight and must recover reserves while producing milk for her young. The bear's first meals often come from the carcasses of animals that died in winter. As omnivores with a flexible diet, grizzlies quickly transition to digging for roots and lily bulbs. Their massive shoulder muscles and long claws make them efficient excavators. Communication becomes crucial, and tree marking acts as a complex olfactory bulletin board. Each bear leaves a unique scent mark that transmits information about its identity and status. in a landscape where direct encounters can be dangerous, this system helps them maintain the necessary distance. Death during the winter creates opportunities for Yellowstone's cleanup crew. The raven, with intelligence rivaling that of chimpanzees, follows wolf packs. It knows that a successful hunt will provide a feast. These cunning birds have been observed pulling the tails of wolves to distract them and lure them away from a carcass. They also drop branches on sleeping wolves to move them away from prey. The coyote is more cautious and waits for the wolves to leave before approaching to eat the remains. Their relationship is complex and often violent. Wolves kill coyotes not just for competition, but due to territorial instinct. However, the coyote persists thanks to its adaptability, sometimes forming temporary alliances with ravens. The latter act as aerial scouts to locate food in exchange for access to the carrion. Not all winter residents of Yellowstone merely endure the rigor. Some species seem to enjoy it. River otters transform ice-covered channels into genuine playgrounds. They create slides along the riverbanks to move with efficiency and for pure pleasure. These mustelids keep breathing holes open in the ice to fish and can hold their breath for up to 4 minutes. Their dense fur helps them retain heat even in the most frigid waters. The Madison River remains partially open during the winter, creating a vital resource for waterfowl. The trumpeter swan congregates in these rare open waters. Once hunted almost to extinction, by 1935, fewer than 70 individuals remained in the U.S. Today, their captivating song resonates once again throughout Yellowstone's winter landscape. For wolf packs in Yellowstone, spring brings new challenges and opportunities. The alpha female, who mated in February, now prepares to give birth. The entire pack becomes more protective than ever of their den, which is usually an enlarged old badger or coyote burrow, or a natural cavity among tree roots. In this sanctuary, 4 to 6 cubs will be born, blind and totally dependent on their mother and the extended family structure of the pack. The cubs grow rapidly, opening their eyes at 2 weeks. At 3 weeks of age, they begin to leave the den and explore the environment under the pack's strict protection. The entire group participates in the rearing. Non-breeding members bring food and take turns as babysitters while others hunt. This collective rearing tactic increases survival chances in a hostile environment where hunting success is never guaranteed. Spring predation requires different tactics than those used in winter. As the snow retreats, the elk regains its mobility advantage, but calves born in May and June become priority targets. Wolves must balance the ease of capturing vulnerable newborns with their small size, which provides less nutrition. Adult elk, especially females recovering from birth and winter, remain vulnerable as they have not yet regained their optimal physical condition. The bison calving season transforms Yellowstone's demographic landscape. They are born with a characteristic orange-red coat that will darken with age. Calves can stand up almost immediately after birth and follow the herd in just one day. These calves, affectionately called red dogs by park staff due to their color and playful personality, infuse new energy into the herd. Bison mothers form loose nursery groups, creating a solid defensive barrier around their young. When wolves or bears approach, these giant mothers form a united front. Their sharp horns and 900-kilogram bodies force predators to reconsider. Even the grizzly, the apex predator, must be cautious when approaching a defensive bison herd. As smaller mammals emerge from their hibernation burrows, they become prey for opportunistic hunters. The coyote shifts its diet from scavenger to hunter of ground squirrels, voles, and mice. Its characteristic pouncing technique becomes common in the meadows where rodents begin their activity. The fastest animal in North America, the pronghorn, returns to the north of the park as the snow melts. Capable of reaching sustained speeds of 88 kilometers per hour, this delicate ungulate developed its extraordinary quickness to escape extinct Ice Age predators, such as the American cheetah. Today, their speed gives them a wide safety margin against wolves and coyotes, although newborns remain in danger. Females separate from the herd to give birth, usually to twins, and hide them in the tall grass during the first few weeks. Young pronghorns have almost no body odor. Their spotted coat provides excellent camouflage, and they remain instinctively motionless in the face of danger. The mother only returns briefly to nurse them, minimizing the chance that a predator will discover their location. The fish spawning season attracts attention from the air. The osprey, after returning from the south, establishes nesting territories near productive fishing areas. This expert hunter can submerge completely in the water, feet first, to catch fish before emerging with the prey held firmly in its curved talons. A reversible outer toe and spiny pads on the feet help them grip slippery prey while flying back to their nests. Bears are also attracted by the spawn. Although the Yellowstone grizzly is not as skilled a fisherman as its coastal relatives, the concentrated source of protein attracts hungry individuals to the stream banks. Beavers become particularly active with the arrival of spring. They repair dams and lodges damaged by winter ice and flooding. These ecosystem engineers transform the landscape with their constructions, creating wetlands that benefit countless species. A beaver family can felling hundreds of trees a year, preferring aspens and willows. Beaver incisors are extraordinary tools. They are self-sharpening and grow continuously, with an iron-reinforced enamel layer that gives them their characteristic orange color. These specialized teeth allow them to gnaw on trees much larger than their own bodies, shaping the riparian environment and increasing the biodiversity of the entire system. As the wetlands thaw, Yellowstone's resident birds return in waves. The sandhill crane, among the first to arrive, performs sophisticated courtship dances in the open meadows. Standing nearly 1.5 meters tall, these ancient birds dance with wings partially extended. They leap and bow in synchronized movements that reinforce pair bonds that can last for decades. Warmer days also trigger amphibian reproduction. The western toad emerges from hibernation and congregates in shallow pools. Males emit choruses of calls to attract females. After mating, the female deposits long strings of up to 16,000 eggs. These must complete their metamorphosis before the aquatic habitat dries up under the summer heat. These amphibians are vital indicators of ecosystem health because their permeable skin makes them vulnerable. In the coniferous forests, the American marten moves with amazing agility among the treetops. These small predators can take down prey larger than themselves, such as snowshoe hares. Snowshoe hares have already changed their white winter fur for summer brown. Aspen forests also undergo their spring transformation. These trees reproduce primarily by root suckers, forming clonal colonies where hundreds of trees are actually part of the same gigantic organism. For the elk, spring brings indispensable nutritional relief with the growth of fresh, protein-rich grass. Pregnant females seek out green areas with urgency to support the final phase of fetal development. Parturition usually peaks in late May and early June, when mothers seek isolated areas. The newborn fawn weighs about 16 kilograms and has a spotted coat that provides excellent camouflage. In their first few weeks, they remain silent and hidden while the mother grazes nearby and returns several times a day to nurse them. On the steep, rocky slopes of Yellowstone's mountains, the bighorn sheep welcomes its new generation. Lambs are born with an innate ability to climb. They develop rapidly under the guidance of their mothers. Just days after birth, they can navigate precarious ledges and near vertical cliffs. This adaptation allows them to escape predators that cannot follow them into such challenging terrain. Meadows and forest edges become the stage for bird courtships. migratory songbird species establish territories and attract mates. The mountain bluebird is one of the first species to return. The male displays his radiant sky blue plumage. He performs aerial displays and shows potential nest cavities to demanding females. Their insectivorous diet forces them to synchronize their return with precision. If they arrive too early, they might not find enough food. If they arrive too late, the best sites will already have been occupied. Other subtle signs reveal the presence of permanent residents, like the dusky grouse. The male establishes display territories where he performs his characteristic wing beating. He stands on a fallen log and strikes his wings with an increasing rhythm that creates a sound similar to distant thunder. These sites are known as drumming logs. The sites can be used by successive generations of grouse for decades. The yellow-bellied marmot emerges from its 8 months of hibernation with a considerable workload. These large ground squirrels must regain the weight lost during the long winter sleep. They prepare for the short summer breeding season. Their warning whistles echo across the rocky slopes to alert the colony of potential aerial threats. The main danger is the golden eagle. This species of raptor can dive and capture even an adult marmot. The balance between life and death is maintained in the heights. Summer arrives in Yellowstone with the subtlety of an explosion. It is the season of an abundance almost unimaginable during the winter. The short window of ideal conditions triggers a biological race for growth and reproduction. It is the time for preparations for future challenges. Throughout the park's 810,000 hectares, life manifests in infinite forms. All organisms participate in the great summer acceleration. Solar energy is absorbed through plant photosynthesis. It flows through the food web with a unique intensity in this short season. For the grizzly bear, summer represents an opportunity for survival. After emerging from hibernation with a nutritional deficit, they now find themselves in an environment of abundance. Females with cubs are under special pressure. They must consume enough calories to maintain milk production while teaching essential skills. A grizzly mother can travel across hundreds of square kilometers during the summer. She guides her litter to seasonal food sources as they become available. The grizzly's diet demonstrates its adaptability. As omnivores, they consume everything from ants and moths to fawns and carrion. Their long claws serve as multi-purpose tools for digging up nutritious roots. They are also used for flipping rocks in search of crayfish and insects. A grizzly can consume 30,000 calories daily during the feeding peak. Cutthroat trout were historically a crucial food source for the bears. The illegal introduction of non-native lake trout devastated the cutthroat trout population. This forced the bears to look for other alternatives. Bison enter their breeding season, or rut, as the summer progresses. Males reintegrate into the large herds dominated by females and young. The change in the male's behavior is drastic. Their usually calm character gives way to aggressive displays as they compete for mates. Male bison establish their dominance through impressive displays. They scrape the earth, creating mud holes to wallow in and cover their bodies with dirt. This behavior serves to ward off insects and to demonstrate size and strength. Their bellows echo for miles through the valleys. When displays are not enough, physical confrontations decide the hierarchy. These battles between 900-kilogram giants can reach an astonishing intensity. Males charge at each other at top speed. They use skulls and muscles adapted to absorb impacts that would kill other animals. Although rarely fatal, these battles can cause serious injuries. They reduce the male's chances of survival in the winter. The rut transforms the dynamics of the herd. Males test the receptivity of females using their acute sense of smell to detect hormonal changes. A female is only fertile for less than 24 hours. The largest and most dominant specimens perform most of the breeding, ensuring genetic quality. For the Yellowstone elk, summer is a phase of recovery and preparation. The females that gave birth in late spring now graze in the rich meadows. They transform abundant vegetation into nutritious milk for their rapidly growing fawns. For their part, the males invest enormous energy in the development of their antlers. It is the fastest growing tissue in the animal kingdom, capable of growing up to 2.5 centimeters daily at its peak. Elk antlers are wonders of biological engineering. They grow from specialized cells at the base and branch out according to their genetic programming and nutritional. It is a specialized layer of skin rich in blood vessels that transport bone. At the end of summer, the antlers harden and blood flow ceases. The velvet dries and peels off, revealing the polished bone. Wolf cubs born in April have now left the den and established rendezvous sites on the ground. These places become the social center of the pack, where the cubs develop crucial skills through games that simulate adult behavior. They practice chases, leaps, and the establishment of hierarchies. They perform simulated fights and tests of strength. Adult pack members take turns hunting and caring for the cubs, maintaining the cooperative social structure. Upon return, the hunters regurgitate partially digested meat to feed the young and the adults who stayed behind to guard the site. summer poses its own challenges for Yellowstone's wolves. Their thick double coat, a great advantage in winter, is now a burden under the summer heat. Wolves are active primarily at dawn and dusk. They rest in shaded areas during the hottest hours. Their success rate in hunting decreases compared to winter, as the prey has regained strength and mobility. Young pronghorns born in spring now exhibit the amazing speed characteristic of their species. By midsummer, they can outrun almost any predator. They practice their running skills and pronking, a special type of jump where all four legs leave the ground at the same time. This behavior serves to develop body coordination and cardiovascular capacity. The pronghorn's giant eyes reveal its evolutionary history. With pupils that are always horizontal and a visual field of nearly 320 degrees, they can detect movement at distances of up to 6 kilometers. These adaptations evolved to help them detect the American cheetah and other fast predators that disappeared at the end of the Pleistocene. Today's pronghorn possesses a design that seems to exceed the needs of its current environment. The black bear reaches its maximum level of activity in summer, and its omnivorous diet changes according to food availability. Unlike the grizzly, black bears are expert climbers. They use this skill both to find food and to escape threats. Their curved claws function as natural climbing tools, allowing them to climb vertical trunks with amazing speed. They can descend backward or in a controlled slide like a fireman on a pole. Their diet goes through phases of seasonal transition. Early summer brings plants and insect protein, later moving to berries as they ripen at different altitudes. Bears possess an exceptional spatial memory. They return to productive areas year after year and create what biologists call cultural knowledge, passed from generation in generation. In Yellowstone's lakes and ponds, trumpeter swan cygnets born in early summer follow their parents closely. They learn to search for aquatic plants, invertebrates, and occasionally small fish. These giant birds, with wingspans of nearly 2.5 meters, were near extinction in the early 20th century due to intensive hunting for their plumage and skin. Their recovery represents one of the partial successes of conservation, though they remain vulnerable to habitat loss. Beaver colonies reach their maximum annual activity level in the summer months. These extraordinary ecosystem engineers maintain complex family groups within solid lodges built of branches and mud. Their dams and dikes transform streams into rich wetlands that benefit countless species, from aquatic insects and amphibians to elk and waterfowl. A beaver family can fell hundreds of trees a year with a calculated selection of species and size. Their preferred food, the inner bark of aspen, cottonwood and willow, is most nutritious in summer. They store surplus branches underwater near their lodges, creating larders that allow them to eat when ice makes terrestrial feeding difficult. The moose, the largest deer in North America, finds its ideal habitat in these beaver-created wetlands. Their specialized digestive system allows them to process aquatic plants that might be irritating or toxic to other ungulates. A moose can consume 22 to 27 kilograms of vegetation daily in summer, building up reserves to survive the winter when metabolism slows. They have developed remarkable adaptations for their semi-aquatic lifestyle. Their long nose and prehensile uplip function as flexible tongs for gathering plants on and under the water. The fold of skin hanging from their neck, called a bell, may function as a social signaling mechanism, though its exact purpose remains a debate among biologists. Summer provides the best fishing opportunities for the osprey in Yellowstone. These specialized raptors have unique adaptations for their piscivorous lifestyle. The outer toe can pivot backward to create a double grip, both front and back, which helps them hold firmly onto slippery fish. Special pads on their feet contain spicules that increase grip. The backward-pointing scales on their talons act as hooks to prevent prey from escaping. The osprey's nest, usually built on dead trees near productive fishing areas, becomes a hub of feverish activity. The parents bring a nearly continuous stream of fish for their growing chicks. The young develop rapidly, reaching nearly adult size just 6 weeks after hatching. Their first flights usually occur between the 7th and 8th week. Parents continue to supply food while the young perfect their hunting skills. While the osprey specializes in fishing, other raptors pursue different targets. The peregrine falcon, after recovering from near extinction due to DDT pesticide pollution, hunts smaller birds through spectacular aerial attacks. During their hunting dives, they can exceed 320 kilometers per hour, making them the fastest animal on Earth. This speed allows them to strike their prey in mid-air with such force that the impact is often immediately lethal. For its part, the golden eagle patrols the highest areas of Yellowstone, where ascending thermal currents offer ideal conditions for soaring. It has a wingspan of 2.4 meters and talons capable of exerting a pressure of 340 kilograms per square centimeter. They can capture large prey such as young pronghorns or coyotes. Their primary prey during the summer are the yellow-bellied marmot and the white-tailed jackrabbit, though they also seek carrion when they detect it. as day gives way to night. Yellowstone's diurnal beings seek refuge, while nocturnal specialists begin to emerge. Fireflies perform bioluminescent courtship displays in the fields near water sources. Each species creates a unique flash pattern, forming a silent dialogue of light that allows males and females to identify their suitable partner in the darkness. Little brown bats leave their daytime roosts in rock crevices and tree hollows to hunt flying insects. These aerial insectivores can consume more than 1,000 mosquitoes per hour. They help with natural pest control while transforming insect protein into guano, which fertilizes the soil and cave ecosystems. A single reproductive colony can consume tens of thousands of insects each night during the peak of summer. As summer transitions into autumn, subtle changes begin to appear. Days shorten almost imperceptibly, triggering hormonal changes in both plants and animals. Nights become cooler, giving way to the first color changes in deciduous vegetation. The great wheel of the seasons continues its eternal turn, moving inevitably toward the time of harvest and preparations for winter's return. This is the season of transition, reunions, and migrations. It is about mating rituals and final gatherings before winter reclaims the high ground. The score of autumn begins before dawn, when male elk announce their presence with haunting bellows. Their voices, half whistle, half roar, travel miles through the pure mountain air. They function as both a challenge to rivals and an invitation to potential mates. The rut has begun, transforming these usually quiet animals into aggressive competitors consumed by the reproductive drive. For the Yellowstone elk, autumn represents the culmination of the year's biological objective. The males have spent all summer developing and sharpening their magnificent antlers, which can measure up to 1.5 meters wide and weigh up to 18 kilograms. Now, these weapons and status symbols will decide their reproductive success. Males establish and defend harems of females that sometimes exceed 20 individuals. Confrontations between leaders can be spectacular and dangerous. Rivals of equal strength can fight for hours with antlers locked, pushing, twisting, and maneuvering to gain an advantage. The winner takes or maintains breeding rights, while the loser retreats to recover his strength. Fatal injuries, though rare, are not non-existent. Broken legs, puncture wounds, or locked antlers can occur, condemning both to a slow death by starvation. A female is only fertile for a 24-hour period within her estrus cycle, which generates fierce competition among males. The dominant male must constantly guard the harem, detecting when each female reaches her point of fertility. The male must repel opportunistic rivals. The energy expenditure is colossal. A male can lose up to 20% of his body weight during the rut, entering winter in a vulnerable state. For the grizzly bear, autumn triggers hyperphagia, a biological state in which hunger eclipses almost every other need. Bears must consume up to 20,000 calories daily during this stage to build up fat reserves. These reserves will allow them to survive hibernation. Their digging ability intensifies as they search for roots of biscuit root, lumper, and other starch-rich tubers. The prominent hump on the grizzly's shoulders contains large muscle masses that power this work. Their front claws, which can exceed 10 centimeters in length, act as effective digging tools. A single bear can move large tracts of earth during its autumn search. This helps to aerate the soil and disperse plant seeds. Berry fields attract bears from miles away, thanks to an extraordinary sense of smell capable of detecting ripe fruit at remote distances. Cranberries, service berries, wild cherries, and buffalo berries provide concentrated sugars. These sugars are efficiently transformed into the layer of fat needed for the winter. A bear can consume thousands of berries a day, staining its fur around the snout and paws with the juice of the fruits. In river basins, where the native cutthroat trout population remains healthy, autumn fish migrations provide an essential source of protein and fat. Bears use various fishing techniques to prepare. They may stand motionless, waiting for the rapid passage of a fish, or dive headfirst to catch it against the stream bed. Others simply enter shallow water and slap fish toward the bank with their powerful paws. At higher altitudes, whitebark pine seeds become available as their cones ripen. The black bear, with its superior climbing ability, scales to the canopy to collect this highly caloric food. The grizzly, less suited for climbing, may shake the trees or search for the seed stores that red squirrels have hidden. A single cone of this pine can contain more than 100 seeds. Each seed provides concentrated nutrition crucial for weight gain before hibernation. As autumn progresses, females take on a rounded appearance due to the accumulation of subcutaneous fat. Their previously flat faces thicken, and their bodies become visibly circular. This transformation is their guarantee of survival. Each pound of fat helps sustain the bear for one day of hibernation. Females that will give birth in winter need additional reserves to maintain milk production while they remain in the den. Time is running out before the first major storm covers the plateau. Yellowstone's bison herds transition from the summer rut to a phase of intense preparation for the challenges of winter. Males now concentrate on recovering their physical condition after the energy drain of the rut. Their massive heads and robust shoulders possess specialized bone structures and muscle masses. They are developed specifically to push snow aside and access the layer of dry grass. Many Yellowstone bison perform seasonal movements in response to changing conditions. As snow accumulates in the highlands, herds gradually descend to lower elevation wintering areas. These journeys follow traditional routes used for generations. They represent a form of cultural knowledge transmitted among members of the herd. Bison begin to grow their winter coats as the days shorten, regardless of temperature. The thick, coarse outer layer of guard hair can measure up to 38 centimeters. The dense inner layer of down provides insulation, capable of resisting temperatures of 40 degrees below zero. This adaptation is so efficient that snow can accumulate on their backs without melting. For the Yellowstone pronghorn, autumn marks the beginning of one of the longest ungulate migrations in the contiguous 48 U.S. states. Some herds travel more than 240 kilometers south. The journey heads toward wintering grounds in the Green River Basin in Wyoming. This route crosses various management areas, navigating a maze of roads, fences, and human settlements. The pronghorn's extraordinary adaptations become evident during migration. In the event of an alarm, specialized muscle bundles raise the white hair on their rump. This movement creates a bright signal visible for miles to warn others of danger. Their heart, lungs, and maximum-sized trachea allow them to run at a sustained speed of 56 kilometers per hour. They can reach bursts of speed exceeding 88 kilometers per hour. This is an evolutionary response to now extinct predators that today allows them to stay safe from wolves and coyotes. For Yellowstone's wolves, autumn brings family consolidation. Cubs born in spring are now nearly grown and more deeply integrated into the group's activities. The organized chaos of summer rearing gives way to much more coordinated pack behaviors. Hunting efficiency improves thanks to the participation of these young adolescents. Their excessive enthusiasm sometimes ruins the calculated stalking plans of experienced adults. Wolves usually travel in single file, placing the hind paw exactly in the track left by the front paw. This energy-saving movement allows them to cover great distances with minimal effort. A typical pack can patrol a territory of more than 320 square kilometers. They use howls and scent marks to delimit their borders with neighboring packs. Group cohesion is reinforced through shared sounds. The wolf's howl serves multiple functions. It serves to announce territory, convene meetings, and express social bonds. Each wolf has a unique voice that other members can recognize. The howl usually begins with an individual and then increases as others join, creating a harmonious polyphony. These sounds can travel miles through Yellowstone's open valleys. They form one of nature's most iconic soundscapes. Autumn also brings feverish activity to beaver colonies. These industrious rodents must ensure that their dams and lodges are in perfect condition before ice limits their construction capacity. The sound of falling trees becomes common along riparian corridors. Beavers collect building materials and store food reserves for the winter. The beaver's characteristic orange incisors grow continuously throughout its life. They possess an enamel layer on the front that is harder than the back. This difference in hardness creates a self-sharpening effect. As the tooth wears down, it maintains a chisel-like edge capable of felling a tree 15 centimeters in diameter in less than 30 minutes. beaver lodges are carefully constructed to offer protection against predators and thermal insulation against the cold. The walls reach 1 meter in thickness, made of interlaced branches and sealed with mud. The inner chamber maintains a temperature above 0 degrees Celsius, even when the outside temperature plunges far below freezing. The underwater entrance prevents the intrusion of terrestrial predators. Food stores submerged under the ice provide nutrition when foraging outside becomes impossible. It is a masterful survival strategy. The first significant snowfalls usually reach the Yellowstone Highlands in October. They create a landscape in a phase of transition. These early storms can melt quickly, but they act as the herald of the coming season. Flora and fauna react to these signals with growing urgency. Creatures complete final preparations before winter officially reigns over the plateau. Morning frosts become more frequent as autumn advances. Crystalline structures temporarily transform Yellowstone's meadows. These frosts trigger the final dormancy in many plant species. Chemical processes shift from growth to winter survival. Plants adapt their cellular structures to prevent them from rupturing due to freezing temperatures. Elk begin their autumn migration. They abandon their summer residency areas in the park's highlands to move to lower elevations. Some herds travel up to 96 kilometers, following ancestral routes used by their predecessors for countless generations. These journeys cross multiple administrative boundaries. They pass through park borders, national forests, and private lands. Human development increasingly fragments traditional migratory corridors, posing challenges for conservation. Geothermal zones maintain their surreal appearance despite the change of season. The vibrantly colored bacterial mats surrounding the hot springs change slightly. The change occurs in response to the drop in ambient temperature as different microbial populations predominate. Some thermal pools look even more spectacular, surrounded by frost or light snow. The contrast between extreme heat and intense cold generates dreamlike steam effects under the daylight. Yellowstone prepares to close the circle and face the rigors of winter once again. Trees marked by bears suffer more and more scratches and bites as winter approaches. Both black bears and grizzlies leave trails of scent, hair, and visual signals of their presence by rubbing and scratching specific trees. These forms of communication help them avoid direct confrontations during the hyperphagia period prior to hibernation. It is a stage where aggression levels are very high and territories often overlap in the most productive feeding sites. Brown trout, introduced into Yellowstone waters in the early 20th century, begin their spawning season as the water temperature drops. Females use their tails to dig depressions in the gravel bed of streams, where they deposit eggs. Unlike the native cutthroat trout, which spawns in spring, brown trout reproduce in autumn. Their eggs develop slowly during the winter months before hatching in early spring. The red fox's characteristic colours become more vibrant as its winter coat begins to grow. The dense underfur, which can increase in thickness by up to 40% to protect the body from the cold, gives them a more robust appearance. These highly adaptable predators expand their hunting range beyond rodents whenever possible. They take advantage of the seasonal vulnerability of ground-nesting birds or an injured ungulate that cannot escape. The bighorn sheep prepares for its own breeding season as autumn arrives. After spending the summer in bachelor groups, they now approach the female herds with growing interest. Initial interactions between males begin with ritual headbutting, in which their giant curved horns clash without yet using their full power. The horns of an adult ram can weigh more than 13.6 kilograms, representing approximately 10% of its total body weight. Unlike deer antlers, which are shed annually, these horns grow continuously throughout the animal's life. They create annual growth rings similar to those of trees. The struggle between males of equivalent status generates a sound that echoes for miles in the mountain valleys. Early snowfalls reveal movement routes of Yellowstone's wildlife that were previously invisible. Game trails become sharp as snow accumulates everywhere except on these paths frequented by footsteps. These trails often represent optimal movement corridors through the complex relief. They follow contour lines that minimize energy expenditure and offer escape options should a predator appear. Mule deer intensify their feeding as autumn advances. They shift from the succulent vegetation of summer to drier, woodier shrubs, which will constitute their winter diet. Their specialized stomach, home to a complex microbiota, helps break down plant materials that most other mammals cannot digest. This adaptation allows them to extract maximum nutrition from apparently poor food sources, such as sagebrush and bitterbrush. The prehensile upper lip of the mule deer allows it to precisely select the most nutritious parts. Unlike their white-tailed relatives, mule deer pluck specific leaves and parts with delicacy. This optimizes nutrient intake and minimizes energy expenditure. The trumpeter swans that raised their cygnets in Yellowstone's protected waters now prepare to migrate to lower areas. There, water sources remain unfrozen during the winter. young swans born in spring must develop enough physical condition for flight. Their massive body requires a considerable takeoff runway and consumes a lot of energy to maintain flight. Parents and young usually stay together throughout the winter. This family bond provides additional security in the difficult months ahead. Spider species also experience their autumn autumn dynamics. Many reach maturity and their maximum size at the end of summer, and egg-laying occurs before heavy frosts. Some species create special egg sacs with insulating properties to protect the offspring. Others produce eggs containing glycerol as a natural antifreeze. The characteristic woolly bear caterpillar becomes a common sight in autumn as it seeks shelter to winter. Popular wisdom suggests its color bands can predict the severity of winter. These beings can survive after being frozen, thanks to special proteins in their tissues that prevent the typical cellular damage caused by frost. Yellowstone Lake is the scene of spectacular autumn congregations. Canada geese cluster in preparation for their journey south. Their characteristic honking creates a continuous sound background as they feed busily on aquatic plants. They need to build up the necessary fuel reserves for their long-distance flights. These pre-migratory gatherings can reach thousands of individuals and transform bays into noisy bird conferences. As autumn progresses, the human presence in Yellowstone gradually diminishes. Most of the park's lodging facilities close their doors in late October. Roads become prone to being blocked by snow, and only the most tenacious visitors remain. This reduction in activity allows wildlife to reclaim spaces occupied by tourism. Bear tracks on fresh snow become more common as the winter dormancy approaches. Bears concentrate their final efforts on feeding before retreating to their dens. Young bears preparing for their first hibernation show a special frenzy in searching for food. This is due to their lack of fat reserves and experience. Choosing a den is a vital decision for the hibernating bear. Grizzlies usually dig their burrows on north-facing slopes at high altitudes. There, snow accumulates early and stays all winter, providing a crucial insulation layer. The effort invested in building the shelter depends on the predicted severity of the winter. The cottonwoods that grow along watercourses create some of autumn's most impressive visual compositions. Their vibrant yellow foliage often reflects perfectly on calm waters. These trees play a fundamental ecological role in the riparian ecosystem. Their root system stabilizes banks against erosion, while their branches provide nesting environments for birds. The branches also serve as perching platforms for the bald eagle. The fall of leaves in autumn returns essential nutrients to the soil through the process of decomposition. fungi and bacteria disintegrate fallen vegetation, transforming complex biological structures into basic components. This recycling system represents one of nature's most efficient processes. Nothing is wasted as energy and matter circulate in the ecosystem in continuous transformation. Yellowstone prepares to close the circle and face the rigors of winter once again. As autumn nights lengthen, opportunities to admire the aurora borealis increase. These ethereal light displays are the result of the interaction between solar particles with Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere. Yellowstone's relative isolation from light pollution makes it an excellent site for observing auroras. Curtains of green, purple, and occasionally red light create unforgettable experiences for lucky observers. The first significant ice formations appear on the banks of streams and rivers when autumn temperatures drop below freezing. These crystalline structures grow from the shore, creating delicate patterns that change daily with the temperature. The sound of flowing water is muffled as ice limits the channel, creating an acoustic signal announcing the advance of the season. When the last days of autumn yield to winter's dominion, the great cycle prepares to begin anew. Seeds lie dormant under the earth and snow. Animals adapt to winter survival, and the landscape enters a phase of apparent repose that hides the biological processes continuing beneath the surface. The Wheel of the Seasons continues its eternal turn in Yellowstone, the first national park in the United States and one of its largest living laboratories. For more than 150 years, this place has served as a refuge for wildlife. The park also functions as a showcase for visitors. This dual purpose generates inevitable tensions when seeking a balance between conservation and accessibility. Scientific research must be balanced with recreational use and the values of wilderness with human well-being. The park represents a continuous experiment in how humanity can live in harmony with the natural world. The human footprint in Yellowstone is relatively small compared to surrounding lands. However, our presence continues to generate a domino effect on the entire ecosystem. Roads, fragment habitats, and alter animal movement patterns. Infrastructure concentrates human activity in sensitive areas. Even wildlife watching can distort natural behaviors when visitors approach too closely. Nonetheless, the park also showcases conservation success stories that would have been impossible without human intervention. The return of the wolf in the mid-1990s restored a key predator that had been absent for decades. This triggered trophic cascades that helped improve the health and biodiversity of the ecosystem. Careful management has allowed for the recovery of populations of grizzly bears, bison, trumpeter swans, and other species. All of them were once in danger of extinction in the region. Scientific research conducted within the boundaries of Yellowstone has expanded human understanding in multiple aspects. Advances have been achieved from microbiology to ecosystem dynamics. Extremophile bacteria discovered in the thermal features revolutionized the study of DNA through heat-resistant enzymes. These are currently used in laboratories worldwide. The reintroduction of the wolf has provided unprecedented opportunities to study the predator-prey relationship in an intact ecosystem. Perhaps most importantly, Yellowstone demonstrates the value of restraint. It is about the conscious choice not to urbanize and not to radically alter landscapes that function under natural laws. These ecosystems provide practical benefits through ecological services. They also provide less tangible, but equally important, spiritual and cultural values. The true measure of Yellowstone's success may lie in its ability to inspire awe for the natural world. Generations of visitors have experienced moments of consciousness change upon encountering wildlife, or by gaining a humble perspective before the grand scale of natural processes. As climate change alters temperature and precipitation patterns, Yellowstone faces new challenges. Species adapted to a specific season may see their life cycles desynchronized. Winters are shortening, affecting both wildlife and the availability of water resources for agriculture. The park's intact state provides important resilience, but it cannot escape global changes. In the face of global environmental challenges, Yellowstone stands as a warning and, at the same time, a hope. It is a reminder of what we can lose due to neglect. It also shows what can still be preserved or restored through conscious management. The seasons will continue their eternal turn here, but their rhythm will increasingly reflect human decisions. The future of this landscape depends not only on internal management, but on the collective decisions of humanity. It is how we will relate to the natural world that nurtures us all. Have you been captivated by the wildlife and seasons of Yellowstone? Click like and share your favorite animal in the comments. If you wish to support the conservation of this natural wonder, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Be sure to click the bell icon so you don't miss our upcoming stories about the wild world. Until then, keep waiting for other adventures in the midst of nature. Amen.